What is the rule of law? As I understand it, it is the desire to obey the law just because it is the law. Even in the most lawless places, there are some rules we call the kill or be killed rule. Well, a kind of rule, or the law of the jungle. But when we talk about the rule of law, we really mean respect for the law, the desire to obey the law just because it is the law, because we trust the lawgiver and want to preserve the rule of law. We trust the lawgiver, and we would only trust the lawgiver if we thought that the source of the law came from a good place, came from the best place, came from God. And that is why Sharia is the exemplar of the rule of law. Now, saying this is controversial because there are lots of Westerners who do talk about the rule of law in a very pompous and rather hypocritical way, in my view, but I think they will agree with my earlier definition of what the rule of law is. It is respect for the law, just because it is a law, because we trust the source of the law. If we think the source of the law is Parliament, I guess it means we trust parliamentarians to give us the best law possible, and we want to obey it. But the rule of law is breaking down the sense that our corrupt and incompetent ruling classes are getting more corrupt and incompetent, is gaining sway amongst ordinary people. I think the increase in the number of conspiracy theories that don't lead anywhere is a subconscious expression of this hatred and distrust of Western governments, pretending that the earth is flat, that we've been lied to for centuries, the moon landings were fake, all kinds of silly stories that don't really serve any political purpose other than to show hatred for our increasingly corrupt and incompetent ruling classes. And obviously, if they keep making laws, we won't trust the source of those laws. And so, under Sharia, if we ever get it, I think it's only a matter of time, so don't give up, folks. But the point is, if Westerners were to collectively agree to become a theocracy, being and agree to be guided by the best available guide to humanity, then they would want it to work. And in order to make it work, there would be a change of narrative. There would be some story about how the liberal order came to an end. There would be some story about the increasing incompetence and corruption of the liberal order, causing it to crash and burn, and then the correction coming in the form of Sharia. So with the on one extreme, we have sexual liberation from the roots of marriage and good parenting that feminism promotes, establishing the matriarchy. There would be the desire for the patriarchy to be restored, for it to challenge and defeat the matriarchy, and obviously that it would be a new regime of social conservatism and higher standards of sexual morality, making marriage its gold standard. And This is basically the idea that we're not supposed to have sex with anyone other than our spouse. With men who have more than one wife, they're allowed to have sex with more than one woman who is their wife, but the rest of us, unless we work in a licensed brothel or visit them, that would be only means of enjoying extramarital sex, and which will be regulated in licensed brothels. So this would make things very clear for people who are easily confused about the, if it feels good, do it school of thought, which is fundamentally liberal. So just to make it quite clear, um, the rule of law is people wanting to obey the law just because it is a law, because they think the lawgiver is trustworthy, just, and even divine. And therefore, Sharia would be the best example of the rule of law, were it to be adopted in the West. Thank you for your attention.